All right, I just got my scans back from the darkroom lab. I'm about to check them out now. I hope they turn out good. Roll number 1. All right. Call me the flip-flop master. I don't care what you guys have to say. I don't think Kodak Gold is my favorite film stock at the moment as of right now. Because of these scans that I just seen, I'm gonna be talking about my all-time favorite 35mm color film. Let's go. Alright, so for a very long time, ever since I would say probably October of last year, I've been saying that Kodak Gold 200 is my favorite film stock of all time. And for the most part, I still kind of stand by that. I love the look of Kodak Gold 200. But I think the reason why I was going more towards Kodak Gold rather than some of the other films was mainly because it was one of the cheaper alternatives in terms of color film. But there has always been one color film that I absolutely adored and had no complaints of, but I stopped shooting it mainly because of the price. The price shot up from $18 to about $47 for a 3-pack of this stuff. So I stopped shooting it for a while and I completely forgot just how good it was. Now fast forward to 2022, I picked up a couple of rolls because I'm like, man, I haven't shot this for a while. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. And guys, I came back with the scans from shooting with this little beast in Golden Gate Park, and the scans from it, man, were absolutely incredible. I forgot just how good this film stock was. Now before I reveal what film stock I'm talking about, answer your best guesses down below. I'm curious to hear what you guys think it is. For those of you guys who have been watching this channel for a long time, it's probably not going to be a huge surprise for you. But ladies and gentlemen, the film stock that I consider to be my all-time favorite is this guy right here. All right, here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. How many of you guys guessed it? Lomography color 800 ISO 35mm color film. Now this is my all-time favorite color film. To give you guys a little bit of a reference, when I made the crosswalk body of work, I primarily shot with Lomo 800. I think I went through about like 30 rolls of Lomo 800. And during that time span, which was in like 2018, I absolutely fell in love with this film stock. All right, so first things first, let me give you a rundown on what Lomo 800 is. So Lomography is a camera company that comes up with 35mm film. They also make Holgas and, you know, all of the really fun Lomo stuff. As the name suggests, it's an 800 ISO film, but I wouldn't say it's your typical color film. Most film stocks I feel like are fairly neutral in color, but Lomo 800 is very unique in a sense that depending on the light that you shoot it in, it can give you different results. Now when you shoot it in bright sunlight, like direct bright daylight, I'm gonna pop up a couple of photographs from the Ferris wheel in Golden Gate Park. As you guys can see, it gives off a very warm tone. You know, somebody asked me if I was shooting with a yellow filter. I wasn't. It purely was the color from the film stock. It just has that kind of yellow color cast. And I think that's due to it being shot in just direct sunlight where everything was bright and warm. Now you can definitely utilize that, you know, effect to your advantage. If you're shooting during golden hour, these can make some really amazing images. If you want to go out and shoot maybe during like sunrise and really kind of emphasize that warm sun peeking over the horizon, Lomo 800 will do a great job with that. On the other side of the spectrum, when you shoot this during gloomy days, when you shoot this in the cold weather, I tend to get a little bit more of a cyan color cast from it. So it almost looks cinematic. You get a lot of really nice teals, you get some really nice and bright yellows. And for the most part, you guys, it's one of those film stocks that just adapts to whatever weather you're shooting in. So that's one of the main reasons why I love Lomo 800. Now, one little thing that I like to do with Lomo 800 is overexpose it by a stop. Sometimes I will be shooting it at 800 ISO, but you know, maybe I'll open up my aperture 1 extra stop or my shutter speed 1 stop slower, and I'll expose more light on it. And what happens when you shoot Lomo 800 overexposed by a stop is you get these nice pastel colors, and you get to see some of the most beautiful, soft, pastel looking images from a modern day 35mm color film. I mean, it's unmatched. I think the closest thing that you can get to what this produces would be like Portra 400, overexposed the stop. But even then, that has its own look that's completely different to what Lomo 800 can give you. And you guys, the possibilities with this film is endless. I've seen people push this to 1600. I have seen people shoot this in the nighttime with like a really wide aperture lens, like a 1.2. You can shoot portraits with it. You can shoot landscapes with it. This film is a beast for street photography. I mean, pretty much anything that you throw at Lomo 800, it's going to be able to handle just fine. And as long as you keep in mind some of the tonal changes that it brings with the different weather that you photograph in. Guys, this just might be the best 35mm color film ever made, in my opinion. And I can guarantee you there are a few people out there who just don't like the look of this film stock. And even though I always praise how well Lomo 800 looks, with this film stock, if you severely underexpose it, but this is pretty much the case with all 35mm films, you're gonna get some really dark and grainy images, so you always want to make sure you expose the film stock correctly. Another downside is, you guys, I mentioned in the beginning, the price. So a 3-pack of Lomo 800, they only sell them in these kind of 3-pack carriers. 3-pack is gonna run you around $47, so $50 for 3 rolls of film. Just like with the price of every other thing that's related to film photography, it has gone up, and I can definitely see why a lot of people wouldn't want to reach for a film stock like this, just because it is more on the pricey side. But if you can look past that, you guys, Lomo 800 is a solid 35mm color film. Dare I say, it's my favorite of all time, and I'm going to shoot a lot more of this year. Actually, I'm going to be doing an only film project coming up here. It's going to be a hardcover book setting to release next year in 2023, so if you guys are interested, definitely stay tuned, and I guarantee you there's going to be images in there made with Lomography 800. So that's going to wrap it up, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this film stock. Do you shoot it? Do you like to shoot it? You know, what are the results that you get? What are some things that you hate? I want to hear all of that in the comments below, because I'm always looking to learn more and more about this film. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. As always, Minolta Gang.